It's 3 a.m. The room is silent. You are staring at the ceiling. Then it arrives uninvited. A memory from 11 years ago. Something you said in front of people that made no sense. Your face goes hot in the dark. Your chest tightens. Your heart rate climbs, as if it's happening right now, not over a decade ago. You didn't summon this memory. It summoned you, and that's the strange part. Your brain can't recall where you left your keys 5 minutes ago, but it stores this exact cringe moment in perfect resolution. The tone of voice, the silence after, the way someone looked away. That's not a coincidence. That's a system working exactly as designed. And here's the strange comfort in that. Almost everyone lying awake tonight is running some version of the exact same program. Most people assume something is wrong with them. They call it anxiety. They call it overthinking. They blame stress, or too much caffeine, or a broken mind that won't switch off. But researchers studying memory and threat detection see something different. They see a system that once kept your ancestors alive. For most of human history, your reputation wasn't a minor social concern. It was survival infrastructure. Losing it wasn't embarrassing. It was dangerous. Picture a small band of early humans, maybe 30 people, sharing one fire. There is no police force, no hospital, no neighbouring town to move to if things go wrong. Your entire survival depends on this one group trusting you. Share meat unfairly, break a promise, or humiliate yourself in front of the wrong person. In a group that small, the consequences aren't awkward. They're lethal. Exile from the group meant facing predators alone. It meant starvation, with no one left to share a kill. In that world, being talked about wasn't uncomfortable. It was a 5-alarm warning, wired straight into the body. There were no locked doors here, no anonymous strangers, no fresh start in some new city. Everyone already knew exactly who you were. So here's the first real question. Why does embarrassment feel so much like danger? In 2003, psychologist Naomi Eisenberger ran a striking experiment. She had people play a simple ball-tossing game, then had the other players quietly exclude them. Brain scans showed something remarkable. The same regions that light up during physical pain also lit up during social rejection. Your brain, at a neural level, barely distinguishes a broken bone from a broken reputation. But that's not a metaphor. That's measured brain activity, which means cringing isn't an overreaction. It's your oldest alarm system, doing exactly its job. Your body never got a memo saying the stakes had changed. But if it's this sensitive, why does it wait until the middle of the night to replay? During the day, your brain is flooded with input. Traffic, conversations, notifications, deadlines, all of that noise acts like a filter, pushing old emotional memories below the surface. Lying still in the dark removes that filter completely. Researchers call this quiet wakefulness, a state where the hippocampus replays stored experiences without competition. Studies on memory consolidation show this replay favors emotionally charged events over neutral ones. Your embarrassing memory isn't new. It didn't appear at 3 a.m. It was always sitting there, fully loaded, simply waiting for a quiet enough moment to surface. There's a second, more specific reason for that particular hour. Sleep scientist Matthew Walker and colleagues have studied what REM sleep actually does to emotional memories overnight. Their research suggests REM acts like overnight therapy. It keeps the facts of a memory while gradually stripping away its emotional sting. But that process takes time, cycling through a full night's sleep. Wake up in the middle of it, before that stripping finishes, and you catch the memory half processed, still raw, still wired to your original panic. You're not remembering the event. You're remembering it before your brain finished calming it down. There's a chemical piece to this timing too. Cortisol, the body's main stress-regulating hormone, follows a strict daily rhythm. It peaks shortly after waking, then it sinks to its lowest point in the deep, early hours of the night. That nada is well documented in sleep and endocrine research. Lower cortisol at that hour means your usual daytime stress buffering system is running on empty. So when an old, emotionally loaded memory surfaces, your body has less built-in chemical cushioning to soften it. The memory isn't more dangerous at 3 a.m. You're simply less equipped for a few hours to shrug it off. But why this memory? Why embarrassment specifically over everything else you could be replaying? Here the evidence gets more careful, closer to an informed hypothesis than a settled fact. Some evolutionary psychiatrists, including Paul Andrews and J. Anderson Thompson, have proposed something called the analytical rumination hypothesis. Their idea, replaying an unresolved social problem, once served a purpose. It may have helped our ancestors extract a usable lesson from it. Not punishment, rehearsal. Your brain may be running a diagnostic on an old threat, quietly making sure you never repeat it. It's an overzealous mentor, still holding office hours for a class that ended years ago. It's convinced there's one more lesson you haven't learned. Here's the twist your 3 a.m. brain never considers. In the early 2000s, psychologist Thomas Gilovich ran a now famous set of experiments. He called it the spotlight effect. He had participants wear a deliberately embarrassing t-shirt into a room of strangers. Afterward, they estimated how many people had noticed. Their guesses were consistently, wildly too high. In reality, almost no one remembered or had cared much in the first place. The audience your brain keeps replaying this moment for has largely already forgotten it. You are the only one still holding the transcript. You're still running the trial decades later. Everyone else went home, closed the file, and moved on with their own lives. Zoom out from one memory, and a pattern appears. Every culture in recorded history has used reputation as a form of currency. Gossip, shame, and public embarrassment were never just cruelty. They were how groups enforced cooperation without constant violence. A tribe that punished cheaters with humiliation instead of bloodshed kept more members alive. Those survivors could cooperate again tomorrow. The sting you feel at 3 a.m. isn't a personal flaw. It's a small, private echo of the exact mechanism that once held entire human societies together. Then the world changed far faster than the brain could keep up. Villages became cities. Cities became phones in every pocket. Your group is no longer 30 people around one fire, watching everything you do. Most days now, it's a much larger, mostly invisible audience, one you'll never actually see judging you. Social media adds a strange new layer on top of all this ancient wiring. It turns reputation into something you can supposedly measure in likes and views and comments. Comment sections and group chats can feel eerily like that ancient fire circle, except now there's no real way to ever fully leave it. But the ancient alarm underneath it never got the memo about any of that. It still treats a clumsy comment from 2014 like a live threat. It demands your full attention right now at 3 a.m., as if the tribe was still watching. So the next time this happens, and it will happen again, try naming it differently. Not "I'm broken," not "Why can't I let this go?" Try this instead. "My ancient reputation alarm just misfired." Because that's closer to the truth of what's actually happening in your skull. You're not haunted by weakness. You're carrying an inheritance, built for tribes and firelight. It was built for 30 people whose opinion once meant living or starving. Most of those people, or their modern equivalents, forgot that moment years ago. They were never running the trial you think they were. Somewhere out there, tonight, someone else is staring at their own ceiling. They're replaying a moment you don't even remember being part of. It might finally be time you stopped running yours too. Let the fire, the tribe, and the verdict all go quiet.